South Africa's petrol price, I'll show you how it's made up over time. Looking on the left, we have rands per litre, and down at the bottom, we're looking at this from 2008 to 2022. Has 14 components to it, some of them giving rise to monthly fluctuations and others to annual increases. Starting out with the fuel levy, this is essentially a tax on motorists, increasing every year in April. Last year, bringing around 85 billion rand into Treasury's coffers. Gone up from R1.27 back in April 2008, now sitting at R3.85. At 9% per annum, this levy has grown on average. Remember that South Africa's CPI since 2008 has averaged around 5.4%. So for the first time, the minister decided not to increase this levy for the next year, but he did give a temporary reduction in the fuel levy by R1.49. So it stands for April and May at R2.36. The next in these levies is the Road Accident Fund, which compensates victims for motor vehicle accidents. It increases in April every year as well, giving rise to about 50 billion rand to the scheme last year. This has gone up from 47 cents to R2.18, so an average of 13% per annum, well above inflation over this period, with two big increases in January of April of 2015 and again in 2018. And this levy, by the way, this fund is fraught with runaway costs, with maladministration, corruption being rife, and requires seriously new interventions to resolve the Road Accident Fund crisis. We have a host of other levies that's taken up an additional increase to our total levies by another R4.17 over time, another 9% on average, taking the levies combined to over R10 per litre in August 2021. And a quick breakdown of these levies: we have the wholesale margin, which is a small margin at 46 cents now, but it's the retail margin, and these are charges based on actual costs incurred by the service station operators, has gone up considerably by over 11% to R2.29 now. And then we have 9 other charges making up the other levies, also 11% per annum over the last 13 years. Lots of small charges making up this levy. So in total, before we pay for 1 cent for our petrol, we've gone up from R3.13, average of 10% per annum, to R10.20 in April, with a 2-month reprieve of R1.49. To make way for the basic fuel price, this is the biggest component. Obviously, we need to flatten this graph so we can have a look at what happened with the basic fuel price, which is impacted by 2 factors. This is the rand-dollar exchange rate and the international price of oil measured in US dollars per barrel. And if you have a look at that, put it on top of all these levies, you can see how this fluctuates over time for a couple of main reasons. It's generally due to disruptions that are taking place in the oil supply market and the weakening of the rand. In July, we saw our petrol price breaking through the 10 rand per litre barrier, and that's largely because oil was trading at $132 a barrel. Now, we have not seen oil at that price, even to this day, trading for a full month on average at that cost. And then we had a stronger rand, then obviously below 8 rand, which helped us bring the petrol price down to 10 rand at that time, or contain it. And obviously our levies were below 4 rand a litre. But that didn't last. Fortunately, 6 months later, petrol did drop considerably down to 6 rand a litre as a result of oil coming down $40 a barrel. Tensions in the Middle East had been averted and the production started to increase again, but the rand had weakened by 25% to just under 10 rand per dollar, and that could have been a bigger saving in the fuel price had we not weakened the rand so much. Over the next 6 years, though, 2 factors take place. The oil price starts to climb again as oil supply disruptions take place. China's demand starts to pick up, and then we see the rand also fluctuating between 6 rand and 10 rand to the dollar, taking our petrol price up to 14 rand 33. And then we see it dropping down to 10 rand 31 6 months later. Again, the oil price now coming down. There's a boom in US shale oil. There's a supply glut and receding geopolitical tensions. The rand is now getting weaker, trading getting closer to the 12 rand to the dollar mark, but petrol had dropped then to 10 rand and 31 cents. Over the next 3 years, however, petrol starts to go up again, breaks through the 15 rand per litre barrier. Oil price had gone up. It was fluctuating on average around $60 a barrel during that period, but it was the rand that was weakening from 10 rand 66 to 16.33 over that period, reaching 17 rand per litre in November 2018. Now the oil's trading at $81 a barrel, with Libya supply threats and oil sanctions in Iran taking place. The rand is weaker at 14 rand 50 nearly to the dollar, and petrol is now over 17 rand per litre. Very frustrating for the public at that time, if you can recall. But 2 months later, it drops to 14 rand a litre, and that's just because oil has come down. The rand is still weak at 14.18 to the dollar. There's been higher production in the States and Russia and OPEC, but petrol goes back up and it drops again as the world goes into lockdown and COVID-19. There's an oil glut. Oil is trading at $19 a barrel for that month, and the rand is very, very weak at 18 rand to the 47 cents to the dollar. But all our cars are in garages. We're in lockdown. We can't take advantage of a 12 rand 22 cents per litre. And then as the economy gets back into gear again, the world is very slow to get the production of oil up, and so we see petrol breaking through the 20 rand per litre price in December 2021 as a result of oil now reaching new highs again at $83 a barrel. And the rand is trading a bit stronger at 15 rand 85 cents. Then we see the Ukraine war pushing more oil shortages into the equation, and petrol breaks through the 23 rand a litre mark. Oil is now trading at over $100 a barrel, and the rand is fortunately strengthened a bit down to 15 rand per the dollar. So Minister of Finance, with these massive pressures on the country's economy, decides to reduce the fuel levy, bringing that price down from 23 rand 45 cents to 21 rand 96, so just below 22 rand. But that is a 2-month reprieve. And in all, I think if we just have a good look at this chart once and for all, you can see how our levies have gone up over time above inflation, and how the international oil price impacts on the valleys and the peaks of our price of petrol as we go through time, and then obviously a weakening of the rand over the same period. If the rand was able to strengthen back down to the 13-12 rand to the dollar mark, and oil prices are able to get down to the $60 and $50 a barrel, we'll be able to see petrol below 15 rand a litre again. That is if the levies stay static going forward. So it all depends on how we're able to strengthen our economy, get our rand stronger again, and get government to stop with these incessant increases in the levies. We should be able to get our petrol price down. If not, we're going to be stuck with petrol over 15 rand to the litre going forward.